Hello everyone, welcome to another Board Game BBQ unboxing. This is Jules here, and today we're going to have a look at Ride the Rails, which is published by Capstone Games, and the artwork is done by Ian O'Toole. So let's open it up. Now, this game, from my understanding, is a more modern implementation of a genre in board games called 18xx games, which are essentially just games that revolve around economy and trains that are in the 1800s eras. So there's a whole bunch of games out there from obviously dates ranging in early 1800s to late 1800s, and they have a bit of a reputation of being not the most prettiest of games, but this one is certainly an exception. Ride the Rails looks absolutely fantastic, of course, because that's partly done by Ian O'Toole, the artwork, but I love the box. It has a beautiful linen finish. It's really, really nice, and it's not a big box. It's quite thin, as you can see. Really, really thin. Doesn't take up much space on your shelf. So let's open it up and see what else is inside. Okay, so we've got what looks to be the rules is on a single page. That is fantastic. I love it when rules are that simple that it's just a single A4 page. Very, very excited for that. Now this looks like here, the board. Now this doesn't look big. I'll just show you how thick that is. There are many, many layers to this board. It's very, very compact. That must be how they've managed to keep the board size down. This is a very complicated way in which they've folded up this board. It's actually huge. This is a big, big board. Obviously, I can't get it all in frame, but you can tell that this is massive. This is not a tiny board. Obviously, this is the United States, and it has a whole bunch of cities on here. Now, I'll see if I can get this turned around for you guys. Okay. So from my basic understanding of the game, you're basically creating rail networks and delivering passengers to cities, and you're scoring points on those passengers' movements and how many trains they use of a particular color in that train line. And nobody owns the different colors that come in the game, but you actually invest sort of stocks in those different colors. And sort of the game sort of progresses from starting on the East Coast, and it spreads this way, and later in the game you then have access to some of the West Coast cities over here. So that's all I really know about it, but for an 18xx genre game, this is a very beautiful board, and I have to say, even for its genre, I really like the aesthetic. It's really minimalist, it's really simple, but I love the detail work that's been done here on the coastline. Really, really nice. All right, let's have a look at some of the other components then. Still mind-blowing how tiny they made that board. Okay, so here we've got all the train pieces. There is a lot of pieces in here. My goodness. Okay. And they're a lot smaller than I expected. These are really, really tiny. Now, I wouldn't say I have ginormous hands. I wouldn't say they're tiny. I'm pretty average size, I reckon. But these are very, very small wooden pieces, and they're all wooden pieces. So we've got a couple of trains here, and we've got a couple of the passengers. So the trains are all the exact same model. They don't look any different, and likewise the passengers are all identical. And it looks like there's a few tokens on here that you use to keep track of scoring and passenger movement. There's two different sized wooden circle tokens, and there's also, I can see, some hexagon tokens. So not sure which one's used for what tracking what in the game, but they are there nonetheless. Very nice. All wooden bits. I will definitely need to get some Ziploc bags to separate those components, because that will be a nightmare to sort out. And looks like we've got one more thing in the box here. I think this is, from my understanding, just a player aid to, well, there's a bit of times tabling going on in this game, a lot of multiplications, so they have a chart there so you can do it nice and quick. I'll just have I'll open this up and have a look. So it looks like there's one for each player that can play the game. So there's 5 sheets here, and they're just different colors. But very handy nonetheless. And on the back, it's just got a nice little embellishment. Well, I'm very excited to play this game. You will hear more about it on the podcast. And in fact, one of our members, Def, has already talked about Ride the Rails as his sizzling game, but I'll talk about it when I get to play it as well. So that's it for Ride the Rails today. If you liked this unboxing video, please hit like and subscribe. That really helps us get our content out there, and we've had a lot of positive feedback from people, especially about the podcast, so we really appreciate all of that. But that's it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video, and I'll see you next time.